Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer II, The Shadow and the Blade. I I loaded up the game and I looked at the thing I had done at the end of the last episode and I was like, this is a risky plan, right? Because this is a lot of army right here. So, let's say this works. The ideal situation here is they see the undersized army. This army's invisible to them, right? They see this undersized army recruiting, and they go, oh, well, that's an opportunity we must pounce on, and they run over here to attack us. And I don't really love the chances of our 2 stacks versus their 2 stacks, but because of how the movement mechanics work, you can only move one army at a time, they would move one of the stacks in first. That stack would get ambushed, and then we would do a 2-on-1, and then we could fight the other army at our leisure. However, if this doesn't work, if the ambush fails and they see through it, I don't really want to have this fair fight. So, I was looking at how much movement we have left, and I think we can still execute this plan while backing up a little bit. And what I like about that move is that if the ambush fails and they come out here and are able to fight us fairly, we can choose to retreat from the battle and maybe make it far enough back that they can't pursue us. So we're going to do the same plan, but we're going to do it a little bit further away. And then we have 806 gold. So that's not quite enough to recruit 3 clan rats. I think I was recruiting 3 units of spear slaves, and maybe that's still what we should do. But I kind of want to, I want our units to be good. Why don't we go 2 of these and 1 of those? I mean, sword clan rats without shields are not, they're not great, but they're certainly better than the slaves. Alright, let's see what happens here. I'm not sure exactly how far back we need to be for a fall back from their attack to make us safe. It might be further back than this. We might still be catchable. But it doesn't matter, because the ambush is going to work, right? Power of positive thinking? I guess it's not really the power of positive thinking to do everything in your power to prepare for the negative outcome. But now that I've prepared, I'm positive thinking. It failed, but he didn't move all of his units in. So we do still... Oh, okay. Your army was spotted by the enemy before it could spring its ambush, so he hasn't engaged his attack yet. He walked into our ambush range. Our ambush roll failed, but we can still jump his army for a fair one-on-one battle. Or we can let him finish his move, which I assume will have him bring in the other stack to come and fight us. To be perfectly honest with you, with this many weapons teams, I'm a little bit nervous, but if we go maximum menace below... Oh, we are at maximum menace below charges. I have no food. We might be able to win this just by... Because they have relatively little front line, just by swarming their dudes. I don't know. I think I agree with the balance of power bar here. I think this is a fight that they probably win. Let's decline to attack them and see what they do.
Retreat!
Now he's going to move in here. We're definitely going to just run away. And then the question is, can they still catch us for the big battle? No, they cannot. Okay. Interestingly, it seems like they didn't move that second army up at all, so we are now in a position where we could push them with both of our stacks at the same time. Which seems like a huge error on their part. Okay, all your efforts of gathering specimens and field data, whether or not by questionable means, have not been wasted, for the Forbidden Workshop has now been upgraded. The new engineering bay's advanced equipment and facilities now enable the research of new parts. That's pretty cool. We should have a look. So now that we're level 2, what exactly have we opened up? Is it just the second thing in each line? Yeah, and then the third. Getting to the next level will require rank 15 with a Warlock Engineer, rank 15 with a Warlock Master Army Lord, and then also we must build a construction cavern. Okay, and we got paid. We got like a little bit paid there. We got some warp fuel, which is really nice. So we are about to have a serious public order problem at Skavenblight. I think we should not delay the walls around Tabaro any longer. And maybe we could actually cut down one of the... Let's see, we're getting 4 points of approval from the military crackdown. So if we were to cut down this bell as well, we would be slightly negative on public order. I guess we gotta leave it. Okay. What about this? Let's talk about this situation we find ourselves in here. He totally didn't move up. So what we really want to do here is attack him with our armies from 2 different sides, ideally, because the arrangement of your forces on the strategy map actually does affect the direction they come in from during the battle.
Warlock engineer.
We do have access to 1 unit of regiments of renown, so I want to grab them so that we can come into this with as many bodies as possible. So let's pass just some random Skaven slave unit up to Banning, so that Ikit Claw has room in his army to hire on the Fire Rats. And then I want you to be like here. You to come in this way, because we really want to hit him from both sides, so that there is nowhere safe for his archers to be. Alright, we hit the ambush, which means that he does not have the ability to fall back. He has to fight us, and I think we go for it. The Balance of Power bar does not look any better than it did before. It's giving Banning's army 0 value. I think that's a little unfair. Hey, listen, they're not awesome. They're mostly the lowest tier melee units you can imagine, but they'll contribute something. They will contribute more than literally nothing. Because of the fact that we hit the ambush, the arrangement of our armies on the field doesn't matter quite as much because we have a lot of latitude as far as setup goes here. I'm curious what direction the reinforcements will be coming in from. So a lot of this fight is going to be about controlling these archers. We just got to get a lot of dudes into the archer lines quickly. If we can get the archers to mass up... Okay, so reinforcements are coming in from that side. If we can get the archers to mass up a little bit, also that's very good, we can drop a pretty serious Doom Rocket on them. So yeah, we definitely want to engage this battle in such a way that we want to fight from like back here, right? Want the melee troops to take as long as possible to get into the thing. I'm way too close. What am I thinking? Jezzails have like actually very good range. Why am I having such a... Why am I trying to click and drag that unit as though that is how this game works? It's like, it's not. That's not how you move stuff around in this game, and I've certainly played enough of this game I ought to know that. Oh, hold on, I don't want you that close. I also don't want them standing in the water. Units that do not have the aquatic trait are slower at movement in the water, and so I'd like them to not be in the water, so in case we gotta, like, suddenly reposition. That's pretty good. I like that. That's good and deep. And then I'm going to put like 3 units of Clan Rat Spear Shields right here. And 3 units of Clan Rat Shields right here. And we're just going to have at these dudes. Actually, I could probably go a little higher. And then we have lots and lots of Skaven. Lots of additional Skaven. Here's a question. Do I use the Skaven slaves to slow down the advance of the melee troops? Because that might be a move. I was thinking put the tough rats in front there. Let's compare the stats. That's not what I wanted. Not a thing we need to do. Never get that close to a Skaven slave. These guys have 13 melee attack, 13 melee defense against 16 and 20. Okay, so the Skaven slaves are going to lose in straight melee against the archers. It is probably the case that the best thing they could possibly do is slow down the enemy melee. You know what? That's what I was trying to do right there. You can, in fact, click and drag sometimes. Man, It's been a long day. Let me tell you something. If you don't live in the United States of America, be thankful. Be thankful for your healthcare system, because ours is a goddamn nightmare. It's re-enrollment time, and it was a fun thing. Alright. Doomflayers, real close. Just charging immediately. Leave no time for nonsense. And also, Ikit Claw pretty close. And also, actually, did I... No, I totally didn't move those guys, because they're not in the... Here, we'll put them here. I want them in fast. Okay, let's do it. So let's initialize our orders. You kill. You guys all just kind of get in there and kill. I don't want to disparage you or anything. I'm not trying to say you're not capable of some complicated maneuvers, but what if you just ran forward and stabbed a lot? All right, we're going to do kind of the same thing over here. You just sort of get in everybody's way. And you guys, we're going to hit the archers from both sides. There is no escape. Make sure that those guys are all getting targeted. You are headed straight for him. You guys just kind of shoot it. Yeah, shoot whatever. It's fine. Do what you feel you got to do. And we are going to call some cracks right away here, I think. Actually, we can overcast this, right? Alright, so at 16 winds of magic, a 35% miscast chance, but increased damage, I'm just going to send it right up the center of their column, and we're going to see how that works out. And maybe I should slow down the people running in. Whatever. They're just Skaven. We'll get more. Hit start. Okay, hey, that was pretty effective, huh? look at the break. Imagine being a member of this army, especially one of these guys in the back. Alright, chase those dudes down. Hold on, we gotta go and grab our, where the hell are my reinforcements? All the way over there. Jesus. You guys, just, like, get over here, and we'll figure it all out once you're over here. Wait, where's Banning? I'm gonna give Banning slightly different orders. Run deeper. Okay. Right, melee troops further in, other guys further out. Just gotta make sure those dudes don't come back. I think we're gonna want to replace the rattling guns. I wasn't expecting this to break as quickly as it broke. Honestly, my battle plan here is a victim of its own success. This is not quite the thing I need. Alright, you gotta make sure those crossbows don't do stuff. You guys, probably also have to recommit a little bit. Like, we got way too successful way too quickly. Get over here and we'll see what situation looks like then. Ikit Claw can move forward. Sadly, the wizard is one of the best fighters in the army. And I'm looking at this position they're cooking up here and thinking, a Doom Rocket. Doom Rocket's feeling pretty alright here. So, like, if we do a Doom Rocket, let's say right thereabouts. Want to see it? Drop it right on their lord's head. It didn't quite affect him. Let's put down a brass orb. They're keeping a unit of melee nearby to protect from exactly this move, which is smart, but we can still get into the crossbows. We probably won't be able to kill them quite so easily, but we can get in there and make their lives difficult. You know what? Actually, no. Charge the guys over here who are healthy, who need to be disturbed. There you go. That's what we want to see. All right. It's nice to have low mass enemies to charge into because you can cut straight through them like that. You can sometimes find yourself getting into a little bit of trouble with groups of enemies that that are larger or more heavily armored. Like, not even giants, but I'm just talking about like heavy infantry and stuff will sometimes stop effectively your chariot charge, because that's basically what these dudes are, right? Which can be awkward, because then you have units that are not actually good at melee combat all pressed up against units that probably are quite good at melee combat. Alright, so I think I want to do another crack skull here. We have a situation that looks to me prime for it, and we do have the Winds of Magic, because we generated a nice full pool. Let's aim it like that. That won't hit many of our guys. And the ones that do get hit, you know, listen, they knew what they were being coerced into signing up for. I want to see this go off. Yeah, wow, it does a lot of damage. It does a fair amount of damage, but what it really does is break people's morale. Holy crap. Some good Skaven gunfire coming in here. Trying to get around for a second charge. Reinforcements are still coming in. They'll get here eventually.
Wicked claw.
Ooh, our charge didn't quite make the depth I wanted there. Do your best to disengage. I don't want you guys in melee. Okay, this is going pretty well. You can see some of the archers are starting to have thoughts about re-entering the fight. Let's see if we can fix that. The Jezzails are finding targets. The Rattling guns mostly are not. You know what would be really cool is if we could permanently break some crossbows. Actually, I guess they should have a good clean shot on those dudes, right? Send these clan rats up to break there. You need some recharge time. And we have a ton of melee here who just don't have jobs right now. So let's keep pressuring these ranged troops as they're coming back in. We do not need them setting up and feeling safe. Somebody's got to kill Lupio Sunscryer. What the hell's Banning? Is he close yet? Okay, he's faster than most of the rest of his army. He needs to get in on Lupio Sunscryer. Let's do a quick comparison here. 60 melee attack with the Weeping Blade effect, 45 melee defense. He does have a bonus versus infantry, a sizable bonus versus infantry, which does work on Lupio Sunscryer. So actually, it looks like I'm going to put him into melee mode, and I'm going to have him charge Lupio Sunscryer, because it looks like he should win that fight straight up, like pretty handily. You guys need to keep all these dudes in position, because somebody has to keep them where the AoE is happening. We gotta keep trying to push the Doom Flayers out. Alright, now that we've managed to get out of the mess... Wait a minute, arrows? No. What do you guys think you're doing? Absolutely not. Alright, Rattling guns are doing Rattling gun stuff. The brass orb is available again, which is lovely to see. Banning is getting a little bit bogged down in combat that is not the combat I want him bogged down in. Banning, buddy, I need you to disengage here. You got an important job to do. We're starting to see some panic from the enemy. These reinforcements should make it really hard for their archers to maintain. Speaking of reinforcements and making stuff difficult, let's get the gunners up on this ridge. This like hilly terrain is way better for their arrows than it is for our guns. Where are my Doom Flayers? You guys gotta come back. I'm sure you've done your job yet. Job done. Alright, this is just about over, it looks like. Yeah, there goes the surrender. Banning's doing his thing. He's getting there. We actually do want to end the battle. It tends to be the case that if you don't kill an enemy lord on the battlefield, he doesn't die, even if you just hitting the end battle button would kill him. It's a little bit of an exception to the rule about how that usually works. And I think I want that to be the case because Lupio Sunscryer's army is going to fall back now, and we're going to be able to basically start the next battle by killing him and immediately giving his whole army the My Lord is Dead debuff, which is a sizable penalty to morale. We'll just we'll put him down with some Jezzails or something. Speaking of the weapons teams, check that out. Rank 4 and rank 6. We're about to see that Rattling gun team get into the gold chevrons, which is exciting for a couple of reasons. Although, mostly it's exciting because there are some Lord abilities that only work on units, some very powerful Lord abilities that buff units that are level 7 or above. And Wicked Claw is not really in a good position to pick those up because he has to spend a lot of skill points on magic and stuff. We might not actually end up with him having any of that. And we need to hire a new lord. We need a third army so that we can have a warlock master. Alright, 10 food. That's certainly very welcome. What do we want to do with these guys? We should probably take them as... We should probably take the replenishment since we're going to fight again immediately. But none of our good units actually got injured very much. You know what? I'll take the food. Every little bit of food helps. Alright, banning stole an enchanted shield from the enemy. That's cool. Ikit Claw has become bold. It's an unusual thing for a Skaven to be, and we've unlocked the Ixcha's Eshin Triads. I don't even know what an Eshin Triad is. That must be a new unit. And another unit of Rattling Guns. Lovely. Okay, well, I think we probably want to put the new Rattling Gun in Ikit Claw's army, because he plays well with them. So, tougher than he seems is just plus 10% hit points. We might want to pick up some red line stuff on banning here. So the red line is buffs for your normal units. I like to have a red line lord or two. Some of these buffs get very significant, like reload time reduction is just straight up 10% more damage time. Big deal. And eventually you get to these things like I was talking about where rank 7 or above units get a significant amount of extra stats for only a single skill point. So yeah, let's redline. His aura leadership effect is up. Hard to imagine that with the Skaven, that represents like his units being more loyal. Probably what it is his units are more afraid of him. Alright, unlimited power is going to let us do whatever we need to do here. So let's have banning fall back to Ikit Claw and grab a unit from him, so that Ikit Claw has room for the second weapon team. I don't want to do this with Ikit because I didn't want to spend any of his movement. It looks like he just barely has the movement necessary to make it to the enemy. And then I'm going to have you actually pick up the Eshin Triads, I think. So what is this? Weeping Blades Devour Armor. Okay. Then he has Armor Piercing, Anti-Large. So this is just like a spear unit. Guandao Infantry. Huh. I know Clan Eshin is definitely like very ninja inspired, so they have some more like Asian style weaponry. They become unspottable and it creates a secondary image of them that doesn't cause damage. Wow, this is a cool unit. Yeah, you recruit those guys. And then we can't recruit the second weapon team actually because I don't have the money. Whatever, it's fine. Alright, we hit our ambush. I'm gonna auto-resolve it, I think. We're gonna lose a bunch of the Skaven, the Skaven slave units, but we don't need to do a whole long thing here. Actually, we did not lose as many of them as I was expecting. If we had done that manually, I think we would have suffered greater losses. It would have almost all been to Skaven slaves, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I think it would have been worse. Alright, more food. Need more food. Okay, Lupio Sunscryer is dead, and this is real bad news for that city up there. Also, we hit a high enough level to start getting access to our advanced Doomday Scientist line, so let's grab all that stuff real fast. Cooldown minus 10% to all spells. That sounds phenomenal. You're basically out of movement. We'll just go to here, and we can grab that weapon team now, although we can also grab them next turn, so we don't have to pay for their upkeep this turn. So let's just bring in another unit of spears. Get his army back to full size. Okay, so now the entire army, the entire Estelian army, is camped out in Bilbali. If we were a little closer, I bet we would be able to see that. And they're not ready. They are not ready for the thing that is coming. And we have enough money that we could buy another thing. I don't know what it would be. Also, gotta keep an eye on our thing over here. Discoverability is high. Not getting. I assume we would get a notification if the tunnel system actually expanded us. This one. Yeah, let's hope it happens soon, though. So Skaven Blade has a handful of turns left. We probably have enough time to have Ikit Claw participate in the attack on Bilbali, and then turn around and come home and make it to Skaven Blight. The rebellion will spawn. It'll have a turn to gather, but I don't think anything worse than that should occur. So I think we're gonna leave it for now. We do have. Do we have the ability to recruit any heroes? We still need to get a hero moving out to the other continent for our legendary item quest. We'll have to prioritize hero buildings soon. But I think we finally have our initial economic base. So It's taken longer than I was hoping, but I think we're finally there. Out of curiosity, are my Beastmen allies doing anything at all? Kind of seems like they're just screwing around waiting for Belagar Ironhammer to move out of Karak Izor, which I don't think is actually going to happen.
Behold my infernal
Dwarves don't like to leave their Karaks. No, absolutely not. First of all, under no circumstances do I give you peace. Okay, a declaration of war from Tilia. I will call my beastmen. They have joined us. Okay, that's not ideal. It would have been really nice for that to not happen for like another turn or two, because we still don't have the walls up at Tabaro. But it looks like they haven't actually made a move on us. They declared war, but they didn't start sailing yet. Okay, Carve Undertunnel's going to be actually deeply relevant here in a moment. Really, that army got to full size already, huh? Single turn?
warp power.
That makes things a lot more complicated, actually. How many turns until we can build a new Doom Rocket? Do one right now. Alright, let's go Refined Warpstone. We're going to be building a lot of Doom Rockets over the course of the campaign. And then we'll build one of these. Okay, we did not get lucky. That's fine. Over time, this is going to pay off. And then we do have 5 Warp Fuel left, so we could get some other stuff. Reload time down. I don't think we need missile resistance for the Jezzails. That's not it's not too relevant. But yeah, I'm inclined to take Rattling Coolant and get us some incendiary rounds. We have 2 whole Rattling Gun units now, so we do have the ability to recruit more. Alright, let's make sure that we equip that item on Ikit Claw so that he can pass it to his buddies. And now we have to decide. Well, here's one thing I'm going to decide. We're going to call out to our allies. Hey, Beastmen. Clear war coordination target. The actual war coordination target is maybe here. If they go to Miragliano, they're just going to get killed. But they could pressure Lucchini for us, and that might divert the Tilian army. So what does Tilia have? Can we see what this stuff is? Not really.
Sigma forbids this.
And we know the size of the armies, but that's it. And we're 2 turns from having walls, which may end up being 1 turn too many. Build Bali has 26 units, and we can't exactly see what they are. We're not in great shape here. So let's grab that second weapons team. That's the thing I definitely want to do. I think we have to finish this. If it means the loss of Tabaro, that would be sad, but it's way better for us to take this thing while losing Tabaro and then come back and be fighting while our whole army is in the place where the action's going than it would be for us to come back home to try to save Tabaro and then still have a war going on 2 different fronts. We have to close this. But I'm not 100% sure that we can, because I really didn't think that they would have a full 20 units already. We do have another Doom Rocket. We have our spells, of course. The 13th scheme is not going to help us here. Well, it does give us the Scryer Clanstone, which makes enemies in an area way less resistant to magic. I believe resistance can go negative and function as a damage bonus. And maybe that's what we need. Maybe that has to happen. So our lords will be gaining loyalty. Unfortunately, we really don't get anything else out of this, right? But I'm sure the damage type of the Doom Rocket is magical. Can't actually, if I look at it here, do we get stats? No. It probably does magic damage. So the Clanstone would, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It also kills everything you hit with it already. 44% more than dead is dead, it turns out. No, I think we just go. Alright, so here's how I want to do this. We want to move Ikit Claw up into a supporting position, but we want to not have him be the one who engages, I think. Because the army that engages will lose all of its movement, conquering Bilbali, and I want Ikit Claw to be able to turn around and start running home immediately.
Progress, yes.
Which means we're not going to have quite the ranged weapon advantage here that we have in the last battle. I'm going to not do the Clan Stone, I think. And, okay, their army is largely melee, so basically we just run away at the beginning of the battle until we can reunite with our reinforcements. We have just enough food to put in one extra menace below. Yeah, alright. Fall back to the reinforcements and just make this work, because if it doesn't work, we're in, like, really dire shape. We were so close to it being okay for the Tillians to declare war on us. They had to go one turn early. And that's really all it is, probably. It probably is, if they declared war next turn, we're so ready. Alright, that just means that we need to not screw this up. And it probably doesn't matter too much if the armies get, like, really torn up in this battle. We're going to have time running for replenishment. We're also going to be able to do some recruiting. But, like, this has to end. Okay, that's... 30 is beautiful. Reinforcements are coming in way back here, so I am inclined to just deploy back there. Okay. Can't really do anything until the reinforcements are in anyway. So they have 26 units and largely melee, which is like... that has its upsides and its downsides, right? It doesn't really help us much to do anything. We attacked, so if the battle timer were to run out without a winner being decided, they win. Which means they have absolutely no incentive to move at all or do anything, which probably means that they won't. They'll just hang out back there and let me do whatever I want to do here. There we go. There's my Jezzails. Weapon teams up. We'll try to take advantage of our superior range here. So let's control group the Ratlings. The Lords up here, and then just kind of split the melee in half. Right, a bunch of you end up over here. This is not half. We have a huge number of melee. A bunch of you end up over there. And then you guys, the third half of the army, I don't know, here, just everybody get up. I'm going to control group the Doomflayers by themselves too, just so that I can find them quickly in the battle. But I think a lot of what we're doing here is waiting for the Jezzails to get in position. I don't even have a good sense of whether the position I picked is close enough for them to fire. But that's how this battle is going to begin. We're gonna set our gun teams in shooting positions. We're gonna fire the first couple of shots. They're gonna realize that they lose the battle if they don't push us, and then they're gonna come forward. And we need to use our units to try to herd them into a pretty tight formation. Because right now, if we Doom Rocket, it'll probably take out, like... Well, I mean, first of all, it would be tough because they're running around, and I don't know that they won't change direction. But we need to take out more than, like, a couple units of guys. I need to hit big with this Doom Rocket. Okay, not quite close enough, it turns out. And in fact, I might not be able to shoot them from close enough because of the terrain. Like, this hill's a little awkward. Okay, that looks... Let's see if they start firing. No, is it still... Yeah, it's just a little too uneven. That's actually really crappy. That's a big problem. Okay, if we move a little further forward so they can fire this way across the more open ground, I think we should be okay. Let's move up into support positions. There we go. Okay, so you lot need to get up here and ready. They're not moving. They're just letting me shoot. And wow, the Jezzails are doing a lot of damage very quickly. I guess it's not that quick. I had it on fast forward. That's part of why that was so quick. One of you needs to be over here, one of you needs to be over here, and the Doom Flayer... I don't know what we do with the Doom Flayers. They're actually going to let me just completely kill one of those units of archers before the battle even starts. That's nice of them. Definitely guard mode. Do not chase. No chasing anyone. They outrange me. It looks like they do outrange the Ratlings a little bit. I'm going to try something here. I wonder how many of them we can get to stop and fight. Looks like the answer is quite a few, including their lord. That's okay, they just needed to be there for a second. That feels okay. That feels like an okay use of that. Let's do a Cracks Call. Like right here. I might have overled. No, that was pretty good. Let's use you guys for the thing that you're for. Just don't get grabbed. Alright, this seems like a fine time to issue some movement orders. So I'm going to have some of these guys fan out right here. Some of these guys fan out right here, and then obviously we're going to be engaging in direct melee a whole lot. Okay, so how do your things work? You have your concealment bombs, you have your doppelgang. Yeah, put them like over here. And then we need these units to just sort of march out and cause problems. And you guys don't have orders. Forward, maybe fold in around somebody. And then I'm going to split these guys up along the flanks. These units are going to have to get in behind people. Which means a lot of running, which is not always ideal. Okay, I think this is a pretty good start, though. Banning needs to fight, for sure. What's left of their lord? Their lord took no damage from the Doom Rocket. I wonder if Doom Rockets just can't deal damage to characters or something, because it really feels like he should have. Yeah, get over there and stab him to death. So who on this side doesn't have orders? These guys. These guys need to form a front a little bit more. Let's not have one unit of Skaven slaves trying to fight everybody all at once. And also magics. So I'm going to go ahead and hit unlimited power here. It looks like it did not miscast. Yeah, because we would see the damage on him already. I'm going to have the Jezzails back up onto the hill. Going pretty well so far.
Now, ready, now! Die, die, die! Clan rats!
Not too worried about those archers. They will not be there for long.
Ready, ready!
Alright, their lord is losing badly in combat with our guy. Like, look at how much health he's missing. The health bars keep moving, but look how much health he's missing already. Turns out, Master Assassin, pretty okay at assassinating. I guess that's why they call him that. Y'all get in here. Let's try to break this front as quickly as possible. This front is going to have to hold on its own for a little while, because this one doesn't have the wizard, so maybe a smarter commander would have put more of the reinforcements on this side. Looks like we can afford to move some of the dudes who I ran forward to protect the weapon teams, because the enemies are just they're not moving in a way that makes them able to hit the weapon teams. Alright, let's overcast some Warp Lightning. Increased number of lightning drops. Come on. There we go. That felt significant. That felt like a significantly increased number.
Quick, quick!
Let's have this unit run over here. These guys need to get in there. Alright, you have done some fine work on... Hey, you know what? Those archers are not permanently broken. We should probably keep chasing. Don't let them get away. Their lord has permanently broken, but I'd like to see him die. Again, the morale effect of a lord being killed on the battlefield is pretty significant. Just Hills are doing some fine work on that front. Alright, Banning, you're going to be needed on this side. You guys are also now needed on this side, and let's put some units into the back side of the army here. We don't... Breaking them and killing them is the same in this case, because any unit that is any unit that leaves the battlefield, or when a settlement battle is lost, all of the defending units die, even if they retreated at like 89% health, so... Doomflayers can come back now, I'm sure. Yeah, those guys aren't gonna... They're not gonna come back into it. Oh, I should turn off Banning's melee mode so that he is using his sling as he runs. Okay, we might want to have... Ikit, come over here. We're going to need a little bit of magical support. A lot of very surviving enemies over here, and that needs to change. Alright, stay on them. Don't let anybody recover. Okay, I think we're seeing the break here. That went pretty smoothly. That was about as good as I thought we were going to get there. Alright, so a decisive victory, not a ton of melee damage to the armies. Yeah, like minimal losses. Especially for a Skaven army. Those are very low numbers. And now we've managed to finish one of our wars and secure an entire secondary province, and one that's fairly lucrative. It looks like the port in Magritta is not quite what I thought it was. I thought it had a special landmark port that makes extra money. I thought both it and Miragliano had those, but maybe it's just Miragliano. Well, whatever. Like I said, we started the game at war with Estalia. There was never going to be peace between us. We could have negotiated a peace treaty, but it would not have held for very long. So this had to happen one way or another. And now Banning's army will chill in the settlement for a minute and get their bearings, while Ikit Claw's army goes into full march and then underway movement mode to get home before the Tillians and the Rebellion together are able to burn down the Skaven Blight. It is maybe the case that I built the wrong things in our Undercity underneath... We should level this up as much as we can. Okay, Banning has taken his own. I can't believe he didn't have one of those already. Oven secured, faction destroyed, everything's going fine. And an engineering student. We should probably throw that engineering student on Ikit Claw. I cannot do that. He is not a follower that can be equipped by that guy. Different followers can only follow certain types of characters, so that follower must be for like a hero, or probably a specific hero that we don't have in this army. Probably a warlock engineer. But unfortunately, as far as I know, there's no way to determine from looking at a follower what kind of person you can equip them on. You just have to know. Okay, so let's talk about this. Clan rat buffs obviously have a lot of value early in the game. Our armies are going to be heavily clan rats for a long time. But bonuses to Night Runners and Gutter Runners certainly fit better thematically with Banning the Master Assassin. And then also, he probably has some buffs for those classes of units. Yeah, Night Runners and Gutter Runners. So maybe let's build up Pack Leader first. In order to move out of this box, you can see we have to spend 6 skill points in that box. So maybe we take Pack Leader and then Infiltrator. And this army is just a lot of infantry type guys. But he wants to have Warp Fire Throwers and Warp Lightning Cannons. So we're talking about some engineering type stuff. Yeah, Warp Lightning Cannons are on this skill. Do Warp Fire Throwers not get a... I guess they're a weapon team. Storm Vermin, Death Runners, Plague Monks, and Eshin Triads. You know, maybe we take Infiltrator now, because we know we plan to move him toward these units, and we'll decide what the other skill we want to take is later. Maybe we'll have a little bit more information with which to make that decision. Alright, we certainly don't need both of these clan barracks. Because the clan barracks building maxes out at level 3, I feel perfectly fine having it in the smaller settlement. So let's just repair this one, and then we'll demolish this one, and use that valuable greater settlement slot for something that's a little more exciting. And then we will also immediately push this up to a warren, and get walls around that, because otherwise the Bretonnians are going to come for it. I think we've carved ourselves a nice little starting place, though. We don't need loyalty on our new recruits. 1 point of public order is not a very large bonus. I mean, public order obviously is great, but maybe we should go into scavenging ruins so that we can move forward into other stuff. So let's see, rat ogres, hell pit abominations, that kind of thing. On this side, where are my ninja things? Are the ninja things over here? Yes. Okay, so maybe it's time to take devious plans. We're gonna start building out the ninja buildings for banning. We're gonna see if we can get to play with the new expansion units. And we have very little time left over here. So we have access to weapon team units now. I should probably just build a clan pit. Yeah, because right now we don't have the ability to summon. Oh no, all the basic clan rats are on the Warpstone telescope. The clan pit would eventually give us access to storm vermin, I guess, but it's probably not actually worth building. So that being the case, maybe we just don't build anything here for right now. What does this building do? Oh, it's a big bonus to our income in the region, and also it generates food. And there's one of those technology locks at the top of it. Maybe we want to build this here. So it'll be 2,700 gold. We could do it soon. Yeah, I guess we'll just not build anything again. We should probably upgrade the growth building. Yeah, and casualty replenishment rate is going to be valuable in Skaven Blight, I think. So I think we're going to be okay on public order here. We probably don't need to run the public order commandment, which means maybe just expansionist planning. Get more food and corruption. I think we want the growth and the building cost reduction. All right, let's see what the Tillians do with this time. I'm estimating it's going to take 2 turns for Ikit-Claw to be back in a defensive position. Next turn we can underway move under the river in the forest and end up somewhere over here, and then the turn after that we'll be able to be in Tabaro, or maybe Skaven Blight if we hard march it. No, I'm not going to do that. Here's the thing. I'll totally join that war against those orcs if they give me enough money. I'm not going to do it for 200 gold, because there's a real good chance that if we go to war with those orcs, we'll actually have to fight them. Okay, they're not really making any moves yet. I wonder why they declared war on me. You would think that the AI would be designed to, like, if they get the idea that they're going to war somebody, I think they'd be designed to build up first and then declare and move forward at the same time. They've made an error here, in my opinion. Oh, hey, chapter objectives. I didn't talk about these at all. Sometimes we're just going to get a huge amount of money from chapter objectives. Yes, also there's going to be a thing. The Beastmen are totally going to do that thing we asked. Maybe. They at least told us they were. Okay, so we looked at our victory conditions, our long campaign victory conditions. Hey, look at that. We're doing it. We're living the life. But on the way, we're going to be able to accomplish little chapter objectives. So the objective in the first chapter was just occupy, loot, raise, or sack 4 different settlements. We've done it, and so now we got some extra money based on some secondary objectives within the chapter. As far as I know, there's no way to go back and look at those, unfortunately, but we can see the ones for chapter 2. So our main objective, each chapter, is just going to be occupy, loot, raise, or sack X different settlements, and it's going to be a larger number than it was in the previous chapter. And for that, we'll get some money. Then we'll get additional money based on other types of advancements. So here, we needed to research a little bit. When we complete the chapter, we'll get an extra 1,000 gold. We need to win 8 battles during this chapter. Reach rank 10 with a hero, which means we really need a hero. Maintain a total of 6 units of the following type. Doomflayers. These are both Regiment of Renown Doomflayers. You know, honestly, I'm really enjoying the Doom Flayers. We totally could do this. It's only 1,000 gold, though. It's probably not worth going too out of our way for it. And here, perform 2 workshop rituals for another 1,000 gold. Wait, workshop rituals? Hey, get out of my way. Oh, these are not rituals, these are rites. Does workshop ritual just... Wait. What is a... Okay, I don't actually know what they're talking about. It's fine, we'll figure it out. So, actually, we can march really far. If we go into the underway... If we go into the underway, we'll only be able to make it to here. But in March mode, we can make it further down the road. I was expecting that running would be slower. Alright, so right now, we are suffering from 9 points of provincial instability. That number will fall every turn. I don't think we have to leave Bilbali over here necessarily. It might be a good idea to leave him here just so that Carcassonne doesn't get any ideas until the walls are up. But also, we actually might need him. So, I think we'll just have him run. It'll be real dangerous, though, in a turn or two here, when Carcassonne has the chance to take Bilbali from us and we aren't in position to respond. And apparently I'm getting the hiccups, so that's fun. That's a fun thing to have while recording. So, Night Runners and Gutter Runners. We need one of those buildings. That's a thing I really want to build. We probably want to make one here and also one in the other province. Get access to the Assassin unit and Night Runners with slings, and also Night Runners without slings. I mean, they always have a ranged attack. Hold on a second. So you guys have 10 ammunition with 70 range, 19 damage. You guys have... Okay, better slings, I guess, is what it actually means. So they're a fast-moving ranged unit that is better at fighting in melee than most ranged units, but still pretty bad. I think that's a fine thing for us to build. And this building does have a level 4 upgrade, which makes me want to build it in the large settlement a little bit more. Unlock an Eshin Sorcerer, Death Runners, and those Triad guys. These guys seem actually pretty good. 30 attack, 28 defense with 30 weapon strength, and most of their damage is armor piercing. Yeah, I think we really do want to have one of these in both settlements, but maybe in this settlement we wait on it. Because this settlement could, or this province could really use a growth building. And we probably don't need to upgrade either of the bells. Are we going to unlock any? No, there's no tech unlock at higher levels of bell. I suppose if we upgraded one of the bells, we could maybe cut the other one. Yeah, if we get that high enough, we can open up a slot in Tobara to use for something, a basic recruitment structure or something. And then we can build ourselves a construction cavern, which we need to get ourselves a warlock engineer, which we need for our workshop. We can throw the warlock engineer in Banning's army, and then both armies will be able to cast. I think that sounds pretty good. We could also instead build a Pox Cauldron to get a different casting unit and also access to Plague Monks, which are high DPS, low defense type poison units. They're actually really, really cool, and I like them a lot. But I think Construction Cavern fits a lot better with our whole Skaven Blight thing. And then do we want to level this up one more time? It's another 40 gold per turn. And it lowers the recruitment cost of local armies very slightly. I'm not going to bother with that. Alright, the rebellion's going to spawn. It is not going to be a big deal. Ordinarily, I would want to give that a turn to build up so that we could have it draw off more malcontents from Skaven Blight before we fight it. But in this case, I think Ikit Claw needs to nip that in the bud immediately and then get into Skaven Blight. We can control public order that way. Having an army posted will give us a pretty significant public order bonus. And if the Tillians don't ride out this turn, they've basically squandered their entire advantage. They're moving a little bit. They stopped out just on their side of the line so that they could maintain friendly replenishment. If they walked over the line, they'd probably start taking attrition damage from being in the terrible rat swamp. One of the worst kinds of swamp. Alright, we have a small rebellion. Should be completely trivial to put away. Okay, we took more damage there than I was expecting, which is to say any at all. We definitely should just take that as food. Public order -3 in local enemy provinces and -2 leadership on any army that faces him. You know, I heard those Skaven like to eat people. That probably should have an effect on enemy morale. That seems sensible to me. Okay, we've hit the level where we can get our Doom Wheel now. So, this is gonna... If we get in the Doom Wheel, it looks like maybe we lose our Flamethrower. We'll no longer have the Scorched debuff and 1,000 damage on our ranged attack, but we also will have a lot more ammunition on our ranged attack. I'm not actually sure if this is better than him on foot or not. What else have we unlocked? Loyalty +3 for Warlock Masters faction-wide, and +1 capacity for them. I believe... Or, sorry, that's +1 capacity for engineers. You still have to have the recruitment building, even if you do have capacity for them, so this currently doesn't do anything for us. +50% chance to acquire warp fuel after battle seems pretty good. Concentrated flame ammunition and +12% missile damage. I think if we take this, we probably don't want to get in the Doom Wheel. Or recruitment duration and recruit rank up for Doom Flayers and Doom Wheels. Yeah, I really want to get a better Brass Orb, because the Brass Orb is already pretty good. I really want to see what it looks like when it's better. Let's do this. This probably adds up to be a lot of warp fuel over the course of the very long campaign. Alright, you need to get inside Skaven Blight, which you can just barely do if we put you in March mode. Alright, so military presence plus the military crackdown is a pretty big public order boost. We will have this place under control temporarily soon. And I think we do want banning up here. I think we want to be able to really go at the Tillians. If the Beastmen would attack Lucini and just cause a distraction, just draw off even the smaller army, it would be so helpful to us. Which is to say that I do not believe that they are going to do that. I don't see them being helpful. I hope, but I don't believe. Let's level up the breeding pit again. So you can see we're taking a lot more replenishment every turn, thanks to friendly replenishment bonus and everything. I'm annoyed that the weapon teams somehow took damage fighting that rebellion. Like, it should not have been... That should have been basically impossible. How would they even get hit? Also, our public order situation's a little bit worse than I thought it was going to be. I guess we moved all the characters out, and the characters were providing some public order. Ah well. Nothing for it at this point. So next turn in Skaven Blight, we'll be able to start recruiting our first rat ninjas. It'll be good fun for banning. And here's hoping that that Carcassonne doesn't realize that we are weak. They don't actually have any characters over in our lands or anything, so they probably can't see the settlement. They legitimately probably do not know that they could attack and take that city. If we see any movement from them at all, any scouts or anything, we're going to have to respond. Interesting. Think you can take us, is what that says to me. I think they're maybe wrong. I think they might have made a very foolish play there. Because obviously, if we break those armies down, I'm fairly sure that this is all of Tilia, just those two settlements. I don't think they have anything sneaky waiting in the wings for us here. Let's have a quick look at the diplomacy thing. Tilia is in fact only 2 settlements in size. Well. They're closer now so we can actually see them. Okay, they have better units. They have these halberdiers who are, like, extremely better spearmen. Fortunately, the thing the halberdiers are best at is fighting large enemies, and we only have 1 large unit, the Doom Flayers, and we will keep them far away. They have Pistoliers, which are, I think, broadly pretty bad units, but they're actually pretty good against Skaven. The thing that makes them bad is that each of their shots is like really, really weak. They're a fast-moving, very weak cavalry unit, but our individual figures are such soft targets that the pistoliers still do good damage against them, but also they're hard to catch. They're not nearly as easy to like tie up with clan rats. We can shoot them with the weapons teams, though. Weapons teams any ranged units are good at fighting things that are horse-sized. It's a real easy target. And then here they have great swords, which are just awesome. What an incredibly good unit. They have a 10-point bonus versus infantry. They're heavily armored. All their attacks are primarily armor-piercing. Yeah, 23 of their 32 damage is armor-piercing. I don't know if... I think the bonus damage from typed bonuses is non-piercing. But still, it's good. And can we see the other army? Not really. They have a captain, and of course their lord. He can get into reinforcement range, but he has to march to do so, which means his units will be tired. Do we have any other regiments of renown available? No, next level we unlock a bunch.
Exosuit ready.
I think we can probably do this. I think we're gonna jump these dudes in the swamp. If we get a lucky attack on ambush, or ambush on attack, I think it's gonna be quite easy. Even without it, I think we can do it. But that really sounds like a tomorrow sort of thing, because unfortunately we are out of time for today. I'm really pleased with the way this campaign is going so far. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, for more slaughter of foolish humans. And we'll see you then.